Hello. Beep, 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 beep. Hello and welcome to the Court of the Edijester once again. How are we? All right? Enjoy the WI? Become a warrior teacher. Subscribe. If you could subscribe to my Substack, that's a really good way of helping me. It's on special offer at the moment, $2.50 a month or 30 quid a year. Not bad, eh? For advert-free videos from your friend Edijester. Yes. So, I saw the headline, which you can see now, and was delighted until I read further into it. It's a very important. I'm not going to undervalue what's happened. It is very important, and it has made a huge difference to the safety of women moving forward. But it still ain't enough, and it still ain't enough for a number of reasons, which I'll take you through now as we go through the article by Connor Giles, who's the Scotland correspondent at Connor Gillies. It looks like Connor Gillies. From Wednesday, the 25th of September, you might want to go and give Connor a follow there at Connor Gillies on Twitter. And he's written about rapists will be banned from self-identifying as women, says Police Scotland Chief Constable Joe Farrell. Well, this raises a number of questions to begin with. The first one being, you're innocent till proven guilty. So how's that going to work? So there is a rape, and a man is accused. Only men can commit rape. And man is accused. A man is accused. Well, that man is innocent until he's proven guilty. So what are you going to do? Right? If the bloke happens to be a gusset farmer who's dressed as a woman, you're going to say, right, okay, well, you're a man. No, actually, I'm not a man. I'm a woman. No, but you're a man. Well, isn't the fact that you're calling him a man because only men can commit rape mean that you're then assuming that he's guilty from the start? Help me with that one, because I'm a bit confused. That strikes me as something that's a problem. This is what happens when you halfway house stuff. Because what they're not going to do, I imagine. Let's just go through it. The rouse follows recent high-profile cases, including that of Adam Graham, who began identifying as Isla Bryson. You'll have seen that fool in a blonde and with a tracksuit on, while waiting to stand trial after being accused of 2 rapes. Now, this is the Police Scotland Chief Constable Joe Farrell, as you can see there, looking, rather bemused, to be fair. Scotland's top police officer has told Sky News rapists will be banned from having the chance to self-identify as women amid confusion over gender policy. Chief Constable Joe Farrell has insisted that those accused of serious sex offences who declare as a transgender woman will be recorded as a man. Right, so those accused. Right. You can only commit that crime as a man. We know this, right? In Scotland, rape is defined in law as penetration by a penis without consent. Police Scotland, there's a video there, we'll come to that. Police Scotland is the UK's largest force outside of London. The apparent shift in position comes after officers north of the border previously said suspects were treated as they present, and no evidence of gender identity was required unless it was pertinent to the crime. In response to a Freedom of Information response in 2021, the force went further and stated that a rapist who self-identifies as a woman will be expected to be recorded as a female on relevant police systems. This is a mess, isn't it? The row follows recent high-profile cases as mentioned. Bryson was convicted of rape in February 2023 and jailed for 8 years. The Scottish Prison Service guidance at the time saw Bryson initially housed in segregation at Cornton Vales Women's Prison near Stirling while awaiting sentencing. Bryson was quickly moved into the male estate following a public outcry, with an urgent case review later concluding that women were not at risk from harm as a consequence of the management of the prisoner, i.e. they kept him separate. It's not the point. A recent refresh of the rules by a Scottish detective says if an officer is satisfied a first-time offender presents as a female, then they will be recorded as such on the system. So they're going to record them as female if they're a first-time offender. This is just insane. Amid concerns that allowing men to self-identify as women could skew crime figures and in turn lead to bad policymaking, CC Farrell stated, they're not skewed. We're very, very aware and we're very alive to these issues. How can they not be skewed? And that crime recording will focus on what's the relevance of your sex to committing that crime. And if there's relevance between the crime and your sex, then you will be recorded on the crime system as a man. And the public can be absolutely confident of that. How can that public be absolutely confident of that nonsense? How can they? Honest to goodness, how can they? So what you're saying is, let me get this absolutely correct. I'm a bloke, right? And I beat the crap out of a woman, but I'm a bloke who identifies as a female. So I'm a gusset fumbler, right? What are you going to do then? So you arrest me and off I get dragged. And because is my sex relevant to the fact that I've just beaten my wife to within an inch of her death? Or is my sex irrelevant? I would say, considering that the vast majority of crime is performed by men, my sex is incredibly relevant. This is a dog's dinner. Yes, it gives us some respite from the utter nonsense that's been going on, but it's still a dog's dinner. So what they're saying now is, if there's relevance between the crime and your sex, then you'll be treated as a man if you pretend you're a woman. But if it's not, then you'll be treated as a pretend woman. I don't get it. This is why we've got to get rid of the whole damn thing. It's an absolute disaster. And this individual doesn't know what they're talking about. Really, they don't. They don't get it. You've only got to listen to her to recognise that they don't get it. So let's have a listen. Have a listen to this, which is the video, right? So have a listen to this and see what you think.
An individual comes into custody, and if the sex of that person is pertinent to the investigation, they will be treated as, in the scenario of a rape, which is the example I guess was where you're going. They will be treated and we will investigate that as a man.
So even if they come to you and say, well, I identify as a woman,
yes,
as a trans woman,
yes,
you will continue that investigation
as a man, because it is pertinent and relevant to the crime that we are investigating.
And so in a situation where that crime is then recorded against that individual, that will be recorded as a rape committed by a man.
Correct.
Even if they continue to maintain that they identify to a different gender.
Correct, because we're focused on investigating crime, we're focused on getting justice, and in that scenario it is absolutely pertinent and relevant that the person who allegedly has committed that crime is going to be a man.
We've seen a number of instances where offenders say, I am a woman, I was maybe a man when I committed the crime, but I am a woman. I'm thinking of Isla Bryson, we don't need to go into specifics. How does that play?
If the sex is relevant to the crime, then it is pertinent, and is pertinent to the crime, it will be investigated as that person being a man, because you can only commit that crime as a man.
Well, I don't know about you, but it's a mess. That's an absolute mess. Now, Murray Blackburn Mackenzie, which is an independent policy analysis collective, has consistently raised concerns and welcomes this shift. Dr. Lucy Hunter Blackburn said, "This is a major U-turn by Police Scotland. We welcome that the Chief Constable has at least recognised that allowing sex offenders to self-identify their sex is indefensible. This is, however, echoing words that I would use, a chaotic approach to announcing a major policy change. If the Chief Constable does not recognise what a major change this is from their position over almost 5 years, she has been very poorly advised. We have always maintained, quote, that only a small number of rapes being misclassified as having been committed by women would skew female offending patterns and is offensive to victims. Absolutely right. We now need urgent reassurance that this major change has been written clearly into operational policies and communicated right across the service, and clarification about what sort of offenders Police Scotland still believes do not need their sex to be accurately recorded and why." Absolutely. They're creating a two-tier system. Oh, so you've raped a woman. Yeah, what's your name? Millie. Okay, right, great, Millie. You're a bloke, right? No, I'm a woman. No, you aren't. You're a bloke. Okay. You've robbed a bank at gunpoint and shot a man. Yeah, that's right. What's your name? Millie. Right, Millie. So you're female? Yeah. Get in the bin, Police Scotland. I think it's great that you've done this, but you need to go the whole hog. It is fairly obvious from watching that wittering Chief Superintendent Farrell there that she literally doesn't get it. And that's the biggest worry of all for me. Anyway, you could tell me what you think in the comments. It's a good start, folks. I don't want to undermine that, but it's chaotic, as was said in the article. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.